Actually, looks like we already got a bunch of people on. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started now. Thanks so much for hopping on to join us today. Again, my name is Ryan Dosen, Director of Sales here at Host Merchant. We're going to have some other team members on with us today to help with answering questions. As is the norm, please feel free to go ahead and type in questions as you have them. We've got Eric from our team. Chris may be able to hop in. We may have some other people hop in to help out here. So again, I'm just going to kind of go with the content here, but go ahead and type in the questions, and we'll try to get your questions answered. We'll save a little bit of time at the end to go over questions that haven't been answered as well. But yeah, just wanted to go ahead and remind you that we've got a team here to help give you some answers. All right, so thanks everyone for joining us today for Unlock New Revenue with ACH, pricing gateways, and our exciting new partnership. So we're excited to tell you a little bit more about a new ACH solution we have for you guys. But first, again, at Host, your success as an agent is our number one priority. We're committed to providing exceptional support, dedicated guidance, fast responses, real solutions, so you can focus on building your business. We give you guys and your merchants 24/7 tech support. You agents have personal relationship managers that know your business that can help facilitate the streamlined merchant approvals, get your merchants up and running fast. You've come to expect from us a pretty unmatched selection of payment technologies, from Valor and Deja Vu to Clover and Genico Swipe Simple. Many others, our proprietary cloud manager software suite that we've talked quite a bit about over the past few weeks. You also have access to a bunch of different gateways and technologies for card not present transactions. We're going to talk a little bit about ACH today, as you know. So again, thanks so much for joining us today. And let's go ahead and hop in here. I'm going to share my screen. All right. All right. So again, the purpose today is to give you guys a closer look at your options and your merchants' options for ACH payments, pricing, and more, as well as the new partnership that we're going to be able to share with you today. We want you to be able to effectively be able to present ACH to your merchants, to help board more and more. Really quick, today's probably going to be a little bit of a shorter webinar, but again, a lot might depend upon your questions. All right, so first things first, I think most of you probably know about ACH, but just to give kind of a brief overview, ACH stands for Automated Clearinghouse, referring to a nationwide electronic network used for transferring funds between banks and credit unions. This is used for things like direct deposits of paychecks, recurring payments like mortgages and utility bills, as well as online payments. And of course, we're here to sell payment processing, and ACH is here for merchants to offer another way for their clients to pay. And usually they're looking for ACH because it's generally a less expensive form of payment than the credit card payments. Typically, ACH is going to be handled via virtual terminal, although our new partner that we're going to talk about today does have some new technology to be able to take ACH direct from the point of sale. Our information is somewhat limited on this for right now, but I'm going to still give you a little bit of a preview of what we believe is coming right around the corner. All right, just a little bit of background in terms of how ACH works. We got this little graphic here. Again, the merchant's going to provide the amount that's going to be due to their client. The client's going to provide authorization for the merchant to initiate the payment via ACH. The ODFI, which stands for Originating Depository Financial Institution, that's going to debit the customer's account and send the ACH files to the ACH operator, which then is going to route those files to the receiving depository financial institution. The receiving depository financial institution is then going to process the payment, and then the funds are cleared and deposited into the merchant's account. So again, I think a lot of us already knew how this works, but just a little bit of basics in terms of how all this stuff gets routed. Gateways that support ACH. So as we mentioned before, you guys have access to a ton of different gateways and options to provide to your merchants. Just a few on here that do offer support for ACH. We have Host Merchant Services, our HMS Pay does support ACH, as does Authorize.net, NMI, Fluid Pay, TSYS, and Deja Vu is actually now going to be able to support ACH through the new partner, and so we got a little asterisk there over Deja Vu. All right. So without further ado, the new partnership is with Paya, okay? And a little bit about Paya in terms of what it's going to cost your merchants. Again, it's got a buy rate of 15 cents per transaction. There is a monthly of $10. It integrates and plays nicely with Deja Vu and iPause Pays to help create kind of an omni-channel ACH solution for your merchants. Right around the corner, Eric Katz and the software team is working on integrating Paya into the Cloud Manager suite. It's not built in there yet, but as you guys know, that software is improving every single day. And pretty soon we should have ACH integrated into Cloud Manager to offer yet another way for your merchants to collect payments from their clients. And then I guess a little preview of what we're going to talk about will be markup. We'll talk a little bit more about markup going forward. All right, so a few things that you probably want to know about Paya. Okay, so again, Paya integrates in, but it's going to be separate and distinct, right? So like if you're using Deja Vu, there's a separate application for Paya, right? There's an integration, but again, you've got iPause Pays and you have Paya. Paya is going to play nicely with it, but they are separate and distinct systems. One just integrates into the other. There's also, for underwriting purposes, there are, two separate different underwriting profiles, okay? So like ACH, when your merchants are saying, oh, I want ACH, ACH is not necessarily baked in as a part of the main payment processing application. So you guys send in your clients' payment processing applications for cards, and that's good, but sometimes, but not always. I was speaking with the team before. With some applications, it can all be done together. With others, it can be separate. Okay. I guess in the case of Deja Vu with Pay, it's probably going to wind up being two separate applications. Now, those applications can be submitted simultaneously. Okay. But many times there's going to be two applications that your merchants are going to have to go through if they want credit card processing and ACH. Okay, so and what you'll do is you'll talk with your relationship managers here at Host just to kind of get clear on, okay, how is this going to work? Do we do one application for everything? Do we have to do two applications? There's another one, I'll have to go back and look it up again, where the regular credit card processing merchant services application is done, and then after it's done, then so for NMI, okay, so for ACH through NMI, it's a second application process that NMI does with the merchant directly, but that would be after the approval, through our credit card processing application. Okay, so again, it's a little bit of a headache, but your relationship managers can help walk you through this. It's not done the same, depending upon, the different things that you're trying to achieve for your merchants. So just talk with your relationship managers so that you can paint an accurate and solid picture to your merchants as to how this is all going to proceed, because you don't want to tell them it's going to be a certain way and then you're changing it up later and then people look bad. We don't want that. Another thing, not just about Pay, but about ACH in general, is that funding, may be different. Okay, so like a lot of times, you're getting next day funding on credit card processing. ACH may take a few days. Okay, I believe with Pay, I think it is 3 days or something like that. Okay, so that's another thing where you're going to want to set good expectations with your clients if you take payment a certain way, it may not get there the next day as it would if someone was paying by credit card, just so that they know what they're getting themselves into. All right, next, point of sale conversion. So I'm going to swap what I'm sharing here. I'm going to come over here to a document. I hope you guys can see this. I hope I'm doing this correctly. But this is directly from Paya. And for point of sale conversion. Okay, so what the heck is that? All right, so processing checks electronically, similar to how you would with a credit card. Okay, so they're telling us the point of sale conversion provides merchants with the ability to safely accept and process checks electronically at the point of sale, just like if they were swiping a credit card, except they'll be using a check reader or an imager connected to the credit card terminal. All right, so what does that mean? That means, well, they have the ability to scan the check, it sounds like, right then and there, and have that process via ACH, so that they're not having to go back to the virtual terminal later and enter it. They're not having to go to the bank and deposit checks. My reading of this, and we're going to get more information from our representative here shortly. But it looks like your merchants are going to have the ability, if they want, to be able to take a check to just deposit it directly, even at point of sale. And there's a bunch of additional benefits that they're claiming in here. They're saying doing it this way is going to, reduce non-sufficient fees and other banking fees. It's going to give better protection from bad checks. It's going to give faster availability of funds. Everything's going to be compliant. So it's going to accept all sorts of different checks as well. Okay. Again, with guaranteed funding, checks are instantly approved or declined at the point of sale, reducing risk and protecting against bad checks. Okay, so it sounds like this may not be universally applicable to all your merchants, but it's a cool added feature. If you do have merchants that are wanting to maybe do accept a lot of checks, it looks like they may have to get a scanner. Again, we'll get you more information on that. If you have a specific question for a specific merchant, you could keep this in your back pocket or in the back of your mind, that this is a potential solution here, with our new partner. All right, let's hop back in here. All right, so a little bit about the pricing for ACH. Okay, it does vary. All right, so again, we talked a little bit about Paya. Paya seems to have pretty good terms here. They have that $10 a month, and 15 cents per transaction and 15 cents for batching. We put together some of the other solutions that you guys have access to for your merchants here to just kind of sum up, what they could be looking at. Some things that stand out here to me, would be like, for instance, on the authorized.net solution. In that case, the merchants are actually charged basis points, right? As opposed to a flat rate per transaction. That probably makes it one of the more expensive solutions. So, if someone's not married to using authorized.net, there's probably a more affordable solution for them out there, and a way for you to help them save money. I guess also you can use this knowledge if you have somebody that is using authorized.net. You could potentially tell them, hey, you're probably paying too much for your ACH if you're doing a lot of ACH. ACH is supported through HMS Pay as well. There's an initial setup fee for HMS Pay that there's not for some of the others, but again, very low monthly on ACH, very affordable cost per transaction and batch, right? So authorized.net doesn't have the ACH fee set up, but again, they got the basis points. There's some give and take between all of these. There are, just so you all know as well, there are some more expensive options that are available to your merchants if they have to use a particular system, like for instance, CardPoint, PayTrace. They have pretty expensive options that if a lot of people are coming to ACH with the mindset of, oh, hey, I want to save money on processing, right? So if they're looking for saving money on processing, they're probably not going to be wanting to use one of the more expensive options unless they're absolutely married to PayTrace or CardPoint. Okay, but again, you've got the TXP solution also, um, that has a little bit of a different fee, that 24.95 quarterly fee. That adds up, right? It's got a lower setup fee and a lower monthly, but they get you annually, right? So it's $100 annually, and some of the others have $10 a month, so it's 120 a year. So, they kind of get you one way or another. All right. Markup. Let's talk really fast about markup. All right. So one thing that is not ideal, for you all as agents that are looking to make money, by residuals, is that there's not really a lot of opportunity with most of these solutions for you guys to be earning residuals. All right. That's not the case with all of them though. And so with our new partner here with Paya, you do actually have the opportunity, if you so choose, to do markup on ACH, and there's a 70-30 split on the ACH. So we have an opportunity to grab 70% of that markup here as profit that can go toward the residuals, right? So there are opportunities here with ACH for you guys to make money residual wise, and so we just wanted you to be aware of that. There is, not we believe, we know that you do also have the ability to mark up using TXP. I wasn't able to get that specific information as to what that split is in terms of, what could go to residuals or to the residual calculation with TXP, but it is available. Markup is available on TXP and Paya, but I do believe, at least for now, among the solutions that we have here for you, those are the only ones that have that currently have the ability, to do the markup. Now, one quick thing on Paya, you guys are getting this literally right as it's happening, right? So, like, I mean, it's to the point where it's either live today or it's live like in the coming days here. Okay, so I wanted to get this information to you all here right away so that you can start kind of digesting and start figuring out who you're going to approach with this information. Contact your relationship managers. If you do have someone that you want to go talk with about, the Paya solution in particular for ACH, talk to your RMs. Make sure that, okay, this is actually officially live and something that we can definitely board now. Because again, I'm literally communicating this to you guys right as it's happening. Hope I don't get in trouble for doing that. All right. So that's what I got today. I told you it was going to be a little bit shorter today. And anyway, so the next steps here, for those of you, we get a lot of questions here about ACH, and I get that. So we wanted to do a little bit of an information dump here for you all to try to help clear some of the fog so you guys have a better understanding of what the options are and how does it work. That's a question we get all the time, right? How does ACH work? Is that the same thing? Does it happen all at once? Well, unfortunately, the answer is it can be done all together in some cases. In some cases, you do the merchant application first and then it gets tacked on later. Sometimes it's going to be simultaneous, right? So, but that's why you guys have these relationship managers. You guys each have your assigned relationship manager. You're going to be able to go to them and say, hey, I have this merchant in this vertical. I think I want to pitch this. What are all the options? They're going to help lay all that out for you so that you can go in and be informed and be able to present things at the highest level. Again, I've got on here about the demo requests. As all of you know, I think most of you have been on these webinars, for the last couple of months. But a quick reminder again, we do have that promotion going on right now through the end of August. Okay. The Cloud Manager software suite is a tremendous value to your merchants. Okay. These merchants are paying hundreds of dollars a month, thousands of dollars a year for software to run their business. Okay. You're going to be able to go to, property managers, fitness studios, contractors. Contact your relationship manager if you're curious, or contact me if you're curious. Hey, does this particular vertical, does this particular merchant, can I pitch them the Cloud Manager suite? And we'll let you know, hey, yes, we'll do it this way. And again, I'm going to be there. or one of my team members will be there to help do the demo so that we can help sell your clients. Okay. And again, we've been able to make the Cloud Manager suite because Eric did such a great job making it flexible software. We've been able to make it work for verticals that you wouldn't expect. We've made the property manager software work for, storage units. Okay. We're able to make the studio software work for pet groomers. Okay. We're able to make the studio software work for a hazmat training academy. Okay. So it's very flexible software. I want you guys to open your minds and think about, hey, who can I get onto this software? Because this gives you an opportunity to walk in with instant value, right? You're able to say, hey, you tired of paying your monthly software costs to run your business? We've got a solution, and we're going to save you money on payment processing. Okay, so reach out to me with any ideas. Many of you do this. I hear from y'all every day. Hey, Ryan, what about this? Hey, Ryan, what about that? Can I try this? Can I try that? We'll brainstorm it. And the answer is not always yes. Okay, I have had some people come to me and say, hey, can we do this? And the answer was a few times, no, we're not ready for that. I'm not going to have you guys look bad out there. I'm going to be honest with you and let you know, hey, I think this can work, or no, I don't think we're ready for that yet. But again, there's agent incentives. You guys are going to get a bonus for everyone that gets boarded, right? So the merchants are going to win with lower payments. They're going to win with no SaaS costs. You're going to win by getting somebody boarded. And also you guys have an incentive coming too, a cash incentive for everyone that's boarded here in the month of August. So appreciate y'all's time. Let me see if we have any questions or anything like that. Chat. No questions. I must have done a great job explaining everything today. Anyway, I'll hang out here for another minute or so. But again, I really appreciate you guys hopping on today. I hope this helped you guys, better understand ACH, what needs to happen in order to get your merchants boarded, so that you guys can win more business there. Just a little preview of something else. Give me just 1 second here. So I'll be sending out the email blasts here shortly. We're gonna probably do some gateway side-by-side stuff. Again, we tend to get a lot of questions about ACH. We tend to get a lot of questions about what about this gateway versus that gateway. So, and we did a little bit of a comparison today in terms of price. So we're going to try to continue with that theme a little bit to kind of educate you guys and get you guys more comfortable with the different options that you have, at your fingertips, so that you're able to, on the spot or per client to, figure out, okay, I think this gateway is a better solution here. I think this gateway is a better solution over there. All right. Well, if there's no questions, remember, you can reach out to me or any of my team members, or especially your RMs during the week if you have any questions. Thanks so much for attending today. Appreciate your time as always. Keep 1 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays blocked off. We're bringing you guys value every single week. We're going to keep doing it. Been getting a great response from you all. And again, we're here to support you and help you win. So we're going to keep doing it. So thanks for your time, and I'll talk to you guys soon.